Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about attack vectors against Ubuntu servers, or let's say common attack vectors against Ubuntu servers. I'm going to pick 4 topics today: SSH brute force, phishing, malwares, because I believe awareness should be spread. For those who don't know, what is SSH? The SSH protocol, also referred to as Secure Shell, is a method for secure remote login from one computer to another. This is often used to remotely connect to Ubuntu servers to configure it, install applications, or deal with files and so on. Botnets exist over the internet, and they are actively searching and guessing server credentials using SSH brute force attacks. In the next upcoming video, in which I'm gonna pick up the topic of SSH brute, or let's say securing SSH connections in Ubuntu servers, I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna make a showcase for SSH brute force attacks. And simply it's all about, let's say we have a target Ubuntu server which is targeted by a botnet. It will simply try to use a dictionary with a big number of passwords, and it will try to do a connection for example for the root user, or the administrator user if the botnet is aware of it, and will try all the passwords in the dictionary against this server. And those botnets, it doesn't take long for them to attempt SSH brute force against your server. This might be hours or days before facing SSH brute force attacks. Security researchers like Codit claimed that they blocked an average of 57 million SSH attempts daily using honeypots and smart routing, an indication of scale and automation in SSH brute forcing. That's a big number. Next topic is phishing. Phishing is a cybercrime in which a target or targets are contacted by email, telephone, or text message by someone posing as a legitimate institution to lure individuals into providing sensitive data such as personally identifiable information, banking, and credit card details or passwords. One of the famous ways of phishing is sending a fake email pretending that, for example, if you are working in a company, you might get an email from someone pretending that he is your CEO and asking you to fill a specific form or do an action which includes which asks you to simply provide your credentials, your account credentials or whatever. And unfortunately it's quite successful. You will see this in this slide. You can see 3.4 billion phishing emails sent daily, 1.2% of global email traffic, 63% of data breaches involving phishing. I'm gonna provide links for all this information. Average breach cost 4.9 million. This is for the year 2023. AI generated phishing dangerously increased since 2022. 94% of organizations experienced phishing attacks in 2024. And I've seen myself a phishing email and how it looks like. Why this topic matters? Because phishing, you are really likely to see a phishing email, and it has high success rate, and that makes a huge financial problem, and that to yeah that has a big huge financial blow. And today AI makes phishing harder to detect. That's also another topic. Human error remains the weakest link. That's a fact. So the bottom line here is, of course, there is a need to spread awareness and train people and tell them what phishing may look like and how they should behave. The other attack vector is malwares, of course. And a malware is a program that is written intentionally to carry out annoying or harmful actions, which includes Trojan horses, viruses, or worms, or ransomwares. For example, crypto miners can exhaust the resources of your Ubuntu server, of course. So you have to be aware. And in the upcoming videos, I'm gonna show you how to scan malicious files. A malicious file can be a crypto miner or can be even a ransomware. And unfortunately, poorly configured Ubuntu servers can lead to getting hit by a ransomware. Ransomwares, those days, they unfortunately they hit hospitals as well, and I've seen in the news that people die. That people die because poorly configured Ubuntu servers or poorly configured servers in general. Not only hospitals, but also, for example, airports or big institutions, governmental institutions. In Germany, there was a hospital which was hit by a ransomware, and an old lady died, as far as I remember. I will also try to provide a link to this news. And another case happened in the UK, and you can see over you can see 560,000 new malware variants are detected daily, contributing to over 1 billion malware programs in existence. And ransomware average cost, or the side effect of getting hit by ransomwares, can cost as an average 4.54 million per incident in first half of 2022 alone. Wow. There were around 236.7 million ransomware attacks globally. And well, I would also talk about third-party libraries, but before going into this attack vector, I want to clarify what is meant by a third-party library or a package. Third-party libraries, also known as third-party components, frameworks, or dependency, refer to maybe code, packages that like the packages like you install using apt install in Ubuntu, or even modules in general. Third-party libraries are developed outside of your own organization that you integrate into your software. It's like, for example, if you are running a web application and you require a third-party library that you have to install on your server to perform a specific function or help you build a feature or whatever. If this third-party library is vulnerable, it might lead to an attack like remote code execution or stuff like that. These can include open source libraries, commercial SDKs, or vendor provided frameworks. While they offer useful functionality and accelerate development, they also introduce security considerations, since any vulnerabilities in these libraries become inherited vulnerabilities in your software. Modern Linux systems and apps extensively rely on open source libraries. These libraries might be maintained by small or voluntary teams and fall through the cracks of supply chain security. There was a famous showcase or case study, the XZUtils backdoor, and you can see the SVE number here. Malicious code was secretly introduced into XZUtils versions 5.6.0 and 5.6.1 by a contributor who gained trusted access. So this developer placed a malicious code in this library, and this library or third-party library was installed in many Linux distributions. This is quite dangerous. This backdoor enabled remote code execution, scoring SVSS 10. That's a high score, a really high score. And imagine this developer can have access to many PCs or many devices or even servers using this backdoor, which is existing in this library, and this library is already there in many Linux distributions. For example, Fedora, Rawhide, Debian Unstable, and Arch were briefly compromised as well. The vulnerability was discovered in March 2024 and patched within hours. Yeah, this has a story as well. You might be, if you are interested, you can search for XZUtils backdoor, and you would see how this was resolved in the end. So one of the ways to reduce this threat, which comes from third-party libraries which are not updated, is to enable automatic security updates in your Ubuntu server. This helps to if any library is vulnerable and a security update is there, this simply makes it so easy and let's say makes your server less likely to get hit with an attack from this side. So to summarize, this video was about explaining attack vectors to show the importance of not leaving your Ubuntu server unconfigured, and you have to be responsible and you have to work on securing your Ubuntu server from the beginning. In the upcoming video, I'm going to install Ubuntu server on Oracle VirtualBox, and in the upcoming videos I'm gonna go through the different topics of security in Ubuntu servers. Thank you.